What's going on, people out there in Radio Land? It's the one and only DJ Malone, man. Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day. Really, how you guys doing? I'm doing blessed and highly favored, man. And it's April Fool's today, so I guess what? We're done with the interview. April Fool. With all that being said, man, I got people who are on the move, on the rise, and people I just want to talk to. So the next person I got coming up, man, I really like his style, what he stands for, and I think he got a good voice, man. He got a good swag to him, man. We got Christopher Knox. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. How you feeling over there?
Feel the exact same. You know what I'm saying? I was able to wake up this morning. That's always a blessing.
Hey, you were so right about that. So let's dive in. What part of the world you coming in right now, man? Where you at?
Coming out of Metro Atlanta, to be more specific, Snellville. You know what I'm saying? They call it Lou Willville. I don't know if you're familiar with Lewis Williams. He played for the Hawks. He played for the Lakers. He came out of high school.
Okay,
I mean, so it's right about like 20, 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta.
okay. So let me ask you this. What do you think is how do you feel about the Atlanta vibe right now? Because you guys kind of sent that tempo, and I'm in Houston right now. Very Atlantis, very Atlantis. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you got? How do you feel about Atlanta, man?
I feel like at the moment, Atlanta's, you know what I mean? I've being here, I've always had the music real close to my heart. You know what I'm saying? My family comes from up top, so
Yeah,
hip hop in general was always it was viewed through that like New York lens, that boom bap lens, and then as
okay,
I accustomed to what was happening down here, it became one of the things where it's like to me, I feel like on the East Coast, bar none, the people who are running things, the people who are like influencing sound as far as today's music goes, I feel like it's coming through Atlanta.
well, well,
I feel like, unfortunately, because of a lot of past events in the past couple of years, we've been losing the people who were in that stature. You know what I'm saying? Whether it
yeah.
be the hell, whether it be to the grave. So it's leaving the floor open for a lot of other people to come and take their place.
Do you feel like when these lanes open, do you feel like there's new opportunity for a new sound, or do you think the sound right now is okay?
Absolutely. I feel like no matter what, hip hop is ever going to be growing. You know what I mean? Like it's still very young. It's not even it's 40, 50 years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not even in its super longevity. I feel like the sound is always going to be evolving. What's good and what sticks and what allows people to like actually create a path for other people to come behind them and further push the envelope. I feel like we definitely do have the opportunity to do that.
Real.
It's up to us to make sure that we, you know what I'm saying, we come original, we come hard, and make sure that we keep the sound going.
I like that, man. Growing up, who you listening to?
I started out listening to a lot of Jay-Z, a lot of Kanye, a lot of T.I.,
Okay.
uh definitely then it transitioned, I would say, to Kendrick Cole when I found them, a lot of Meek Mill, a lot of
Okay.
Big Sean. Definitely a lot of Big Sean in his early days, his mixtape days. I was definitely on Big Sean.
So you're into lyricists. You're into storytelling.
Yep, yep, yep.
I'm gonna ask you about your top five in a little bit. I'm gonna let you think on it, but I definitely think I'm big on that storytelling. To me, my favorite album besides the Save the Last soundtrack was Get Rich or Die Trying.
Mm.
From top to bottom, that was to me great. Illmatic was great. So and these are things that in pieces of time that tell a story and they evolve over time. I feel like listening to your music, I think you have when I listen to the Love Joint, I really like how it fits today, but 10 years from now it could fit then too unless
I,
something drastically sound is just drastically changed, which I don't think that's going to happen. But I think it fits. When you're making music, do you look at yourself as a person like 10 years from now? This is how I'm making it, or what's your thought process?
well, really, I wouldn't say I look too far into the future. A lot of times I'm looking to the past. Like a lot of times when I'm making songs, it's something that I've jotted down from a feeling that I felt before, or like an experience that I felt before.
Well,
And then like I turn the idea into a full body of work.
well, I
So
like that. I like that, man. Um, let's talk about the love joint since we tapped in on it. What talk to us about love? Let me see. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. The love sick, man. Let's
Yep.
talk about that.
Ooh, it's honestly it's one of my favorite songs that I've made, like, period. To be honest with you, it's crazy
Mm,
because the way it happened was at the end. I was working on a few tapes at the same time, and I had finished what I wanted to do for that session. So we just kind of, with me and my engineer, we were just looking on YouTube, and I ended up finding that beat. But I had the hook in my head for, like, I want to say, like, a week and a half. Like,
okay.
I'm walking around my house just, who's selling ice cream? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I had the riff, and I was like, I gotta like lay this down. And so when I heard the beat, I sang to it, and I said, oh yeah, this is it. And so the song itself came about just from a situation I had with somebody at the time I was dealing with.
Mm,
And there was things that was going on with me emotionally. And then I was, you know what I mean? I put the how I felt to the track.
well,
And
I like that.
I didn't make it a sad song, but I still made it a love song.
I like that. Now, let me ask you this: as a man, and because you can juggle that, you know what I'm saying? Like you can juggle the sentimental side a little bit, and then you can, as a man, you're going to be a man. How do you feel like today's age, and if we're like we speak out too much, we become sassy.
Hmm.
So, but in reality, we're just speaking our truth or whatever we feel. So, how do you juggle that within yourself?
Um, Honestly, I feel like for me personally, I've always viewed music and my writing music as a way of expression. Growing up, I played sports, so I played
Yeah.
football, and basketball. I was able to vent my anger, my frustration on the football field.
Yeah.
Once I
Okay.
stopped playing football, I couldn't. I needed another outlet. I've
Yeah.
always loved making music and writing music, but I remember when I was younger, I used to only write when I was either mad or sad, and then at some
Wow.
reading back my lyrics, I'm like, yo, this is mad angry. Like, I
Mm.
can't really like make music like this. Otherwise, I'm gonna be spreading nothing but anger, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad. So I developed my writing to be sort of like triumph. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that.
go from what I'm dealing with to how I made it past it, because that's what music did for me.
Yeah.
Essentially, saved my life in the fact that the things that I was listening to when I was going through the worst part of my life, the people who I was listening to made it through those times. So I thought to myself, if they can do it, then I know I can do it.
That's
And so
real. That's real.
I'm trying to pay it forward like that.
I like that way because it's like you because whenever something happens and even whenever we're angry, I never try to react at that moment of the point of of the top of the anger. I let it simmer down. Maybe a couple weeks go by, maybe a month or two, and then I read the situation. And I say, okay, let me explain now.
Right.
I like
Because
that.
we we're people, you know what I mean? We are people, you feel me? And just understanding how our emotions work, especially in the black community, we taught, men don't cry. You
Real,
got you gotta, take it to the chin and keep on moving. So we'll bottle that up a lot of times
real,
to be able to deal with our feelings healthily, to be able to deal with what we're going through
real,
healthily. You know what I'm saying? It takes a community, it takes a village, it takes the fact that you understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling and
real,
how not to allow those feelings to dictate how you move. Because at the end of the day, we're in control of our feelings and not
real.
the other way around.
Well, and we give power to so much. We give energy to so much social media. Perception is crazy because a lot of moves that we do is because of the perception of whatever something or someone deems of us. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I like the language you talking right now, man. I like that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's taking a long time to, what I'm saying, work and get to this point. You feel me? All praise due to the most high, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Through the times that I've been through, you feel me, relying on him and allowing him to just work in me and work through me has brought me to this point. But I definitely understand just how I am as an individual
I like
and
that.
how to help other people. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't have that person that they can go to. Sometimes people will keep that stuff in and don't know how to deal with it. And they find their outlets through media and art. So
That's real.
if I can help one person listening to my music, I've done my job.
Let me ask you this: as far as going through. pain and everything, how do you go through pain and then say, okay, I'm at a place where I can move forward with it?
Um, to just not like dwell in it, but to sit in it, to
Mm,
allow it to take its course. You know what I mean? Like to okay, I know I'm feeling this way. I can look back to see what led up to this point, you know what I mean, and deal with it healthily. Like, you know what I
right.
mean? I used to turn to drugs, I used to turn to liquor, I used to turn to,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, destructive devices to try to fulfill whatever it is or like alleviate the pain that I was feeling inside of me.
mm,
But the deeper you go into one relationship with the Lord and two understanding of yourself, it's easier to make it through when you realize it's only temporary. I just
right.
got to make
Right.
it the first couple of days, and then I'm gonna be cool again. I just
Right.
got
Right.
to adjust my life, adjust whatever it was, whether it's like losing a person, losing a significant other, losing a parent, losing a friend.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's to the grave or like just through relationships ending. You know what I mean?
right. Right.
It's on the simple end of understanding that. All right, now all I got to do is adjust my life to what just happened, and
Right.
I'll be.
Right. That's real, and that's really what when it comes down to it. That's how life is, man. It's like when you lose somebody, you have to adjust on. Okay, that person's not here physically anymore. Yes, you always can have remembrance of them, and even in the spiritual world, they're here. But you also have to understand sometimes things have to happen in order for this to happen. I'm a big component on that. Sometimes like I feel like this has to go. This has to go down in order for this to push out.
That's a fact. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? The sequence in which things happen, you don't even realize it till you look back on it. You like, wow, if
Yeah,
this happened, this would happen. I never would have thought this way, never would have put myself in this position, never would
yeah,
have put my head back down into whatever it is, whether it's my studies, whether it's my, you know what I'm saying? Like you trying to get your cosmetology certificate, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Whether I'm doing hair all the day, you know what I mean? Like just the simple action of making a decision within yourself that I'm not going to continue to feel this way. I'm going to
yeah,
find
yeah,
to
yeah,
vent out this frustration in a way that's constructive.
yeah. Sometimes pain is necessary,
Yeah.
even though we don't maybe not understand it at that present time. But it's necessary for us to grow or to have an understanding of something else.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're not
I
always
respect.
continue until you get pushed.
Yeah, I respect that, man. So let's talk. Let's talk some real stuff, man. Now I know with the Lovesick. Now, is there more songs like this? Or are we doing an album, EP? What we got?
So I do have another album that I've been well, it's actually completely finished, but there is another album that I'm, planning on dropping this year. I want to drop it around August. I'm hoping I could do it like July, August, because I still want it to be hot outside when I do it,
Okay.
like a little barbecue release with it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be dropping a few singles from that. So yeah, there's definitely some more music coming that's definitely akin to what's going on. It's not all centered around love, but it is a complete body of work that's centered around the concept of that I've been pushing.
I like this. So now give me your must haves in the studio. Cause for me, whenever I DJ, I gotta have my pop. I gotta have some Reese's. What are your must haves in the studio?
Uh So I ain't gonna lie. It used to be weed, but no longer. It's not.
Okay.
It ain't we not in there no more. So thankfully, it's like that. But honestly, I go into the studio by myself, solo dolo. I might have a few snacks here and there. As
Yeah.
long as I have something to drink, like some lemonade or something, I'm cool. Because
Okay.
all I need is that in my phone and whatever's in my brain, and I'm cool.
Hey, I like that. A lot of people be because I've been in a lot of sessions with people and they got like 15 guys, and I'm like, yo, man, why is all these people here? Like, I
No.
don't understand. But it is what it is, man. Now if you could do a remix on the Love Joint, who would you have on
Oh, this is a great question. I actually thought about this. I think for my first pick, I probably will go with No Cap. I really, really
there?
like No
Okay.
his beat selection, the way he raps, just is very much and it is one of the newer age rappers that like inspired me. Uh,
Okay.
if I had to go with somebody else, probably Shorty for Baltimore.
Okay.
Uh, currently my favorite rapper. Just the way he presents his raps is
Yeah.
just he been killing the game for a few years. I ain't gonna lie. And if it's not them two, probably. Last I probably go either Polo G or Gunna because I feel like
Okay.
one of them
Yeah.
would provide the same type of feel.
Okay. Since you said that, now hear me out on this. Corday. I think a Corday could go on there.
He could. Nah, I rock with Corday. I ain't gonna lie and say I don't. I definitely rock with Corday. Corday would definitely body that.
Yeah,
Would-
I could see that. I could even see what's that dude's name, Lil TJ on there. I could
Oh
see
yeah,
I could see that.
I rock with TJ too. His last album was really really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Production wise, let me ask you this: if you could work with any producer, who would it be?
Okay, now this one might be okay, so there's a few
Okay,
because I also made beats too. So I
okay,
definitely I thought about this for a minute. So number one would be Child Squad DJ, who
okay.
Dirk's producer.
Yeah,
He done made I think 20 out of Dirk's like 40
okay,
uh plaqued songs. Al Gino, who's no Cats
okay,
and Wheezy, definitely Wheezy. And old school, I'll go Timbaland, just because
okay.
Timbaland is Timbaland. You know what I mean? Like I feel like anything he touches is definitely gonna go. So I would love to work with Timbaland just to, change my perception about music. I heard in the interview he said that I can't remember what song it was, but he did a Justin Timberlake song where he just went around his house and found things to bang on them to make percussion. And he
Wow.
was like, I used the bottom of a trash can for this. I said, excuse me? That's like that's and for us, a lot of for the younger guys, we all electronic and digital with it. So like
Real, real.
we don't go in the studio no more and mic up a drum set, even though I know how because I've been through like audio engineering classes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But most folks don't know how to do that. Most folks don't even know what to do with the things they got in their house. So it just
real.
opened up a whole world.
That's right, man. Yeah, 'cause I used to produce way back when, man. DJing has always been my passion. That's DJing, that's my thing. But I produce a couple joints. Started with Fruity Loops, or what's going on?
So my journey actually it did start with Fruity Loops way back in like, I want to say when I was in like middle school, but I didn't get a laptop to actually start producing until my senior year of high school. So when I got my first MacBook, um, I was in GarageBand. Went from
Okay,
GarageBand to Logic,
okay.
Logic to Studio One, and I was in Studio One literally up until last year, and then I went.
Studio people sleep on Studio One, but to me, I feel like Studio One is comparison to Pro Tools
Yep,
and Reason, all that. Like Studio One is like a lot of people just sleep on that. Don't know why, but it's like it's like it's half the cost and it gives you just as much as plugins as anything else.
right. And honestly, it helped me with like applying my music theory because there's features where you can only like click in notes or play notes
Yeah,
that are specific scale once you turn it on.
yeah,
It really helped the way I saw making music because at first I was just recording vocals in it. And
yeah,
then I was like, well, I'm already recording vocals in it. I might as well just keep record like figure
yeah,
out how to make beats in it too. And so, for years I was in it. And the only reason I went back to Fruity Loops is because all the tutorials that I watch are literally in Fruity Loops. And
mm,
it was just like a slight difference that I could hear.
yeah,
And I was like, you know what, maybe, just so whoever it is for the people that I want to make music for as well as myself, definitely be able to you know, because it's not like I can't record stuff in if I'm like recording instruments, I can record a Studio One and then take it into Fruity Loops
real,
just
real, real.
for that effect and stuff like that.
And you went to you got educated and everything on the back end, and because I went to Columbia College, so it whenever you go to like these trade programs or these programs or the schools, and they teach you a lot of things, these things are not necessarily like I would say 65% of people in the music industry have not went to school. So it's like whenever you talk to somebody that understands, okay, there's a theory that I'm doing here because there's always a point of principle. A lot of people don't understand that point of principle because they feel like, oh well, it doesn't it sounds just like a regular thing. No, I can hear that. I can literally hear the riff or the hiss right there, man. So it'd be crazy whenever you can pick up on stuff like that.
It's it does give you it's funny because my teacher used to tell us, we did two projects. We did a song project and a movie project. And he said after the movie project, the way you watch movies is forever going to be changed. And he wasn't lying. Like after I made we had to we got a 2 minute clip from any movie that I think we either chose or he chose it for us, and
Right.
they stripped the audio, and then me and we would work with the music theory class, and we had to build it back up. They worked on the score, we worked on
Mm.
all the sound effects and stuff like that. And to this day I remember what I got Batman Begins, when he was loading up in the cave and he was flying over the city, and Scarecrow released all that gas and everything was going crazy. uh,
Wow. Wow.
so, but having to build that up, having to get my friends to record the voices for the characters, and somebody be Batman, somebody be Ra's al Ghul, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just that whole process made me realize, of course, I shouldn't be able to hear somebody sitting in a restaurant and the cameras on the outside and you're looking in through the window.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean, but you're not thinking about that in the moment. You're just watching a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I think a lot of times, like to me, sound is everything. Without
Mhm.
music, even movies, without music, it doesn't tell you how to feel. Even with movies, the music tells you how you're supposed to feel, what emotion is being drawn, what's coming up, what is happening. Um, just day to day life. Think about if there was no music, there would be a lot of unhappy people.
Man, we would be living in a colorless world. Even with all the color we see, it
Yeah,
would be lackluster.
yeah, I like that. I like that, man. I like that word. Um, who would you like to? I asked you who you like to work with, but I also want to know where would you like to perform at if you could perform anywhere? Where would it be at and why?
Uh, this is interesting because honestly, my whole thing with performing, I know I'm gonna be okay rocking smaller crowds because that's what gets you to the bigger crowd. I
Right.
never complain about any opportunity to put my feet on the stage in front of people. But if I had to pick one, probably what's now the State Farm Arena because that's
Right.
in and maybe Madison Square. I feel like Madison Square would be an amazing experience. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I went there to watch the Knicks play. You feel me? So like that would be amazing to be able to be in a place where I've seen so many athletes do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And now I get to do my thing in front of all the people that came to see me.
That's real. I like that, man. Um, festivals. Festivals is a thing now. Everybody wants to. If you could choose a festival, where do you think would you fit at the most?
I feel like Dreamville Fest. I feel
Okay.
like Dreamville Fest would be something because one, I listen to almost everybody on Dreamville's label first and
Okay.
foremost. I
Okay.
would love to work with Earth Gang. Would love to work with Cole. Would love to work with JID. Would love to work with Ari. You know what I mean? All of those people really like every time they do something as a collective, I'm tuned in.
Yeah.
So, and I'm upset that I missed the last couple just because I didn't have the at the time. I find it whenever the tickets had dropped, it was literally in between my pay weeks. And like for the past, I want to say like 3, 4 people who have like went on tour or like announced their tour when the tickets went out. I
Yeah.
didn't have the money for it, and I was
Damn.
so it was Kendrick, Shorty, Cap, Dreamville.
Wow.
I'm like gonna. I was like, bruh, why everybody deciding to drop their tickets when I don't have it?
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy though. That
You know,
is crazy.
but it's
But
cool. You feel me? And all in due time.
But you know what though? I think a lot of times those groups really get slept on, like Dreamville, TDE. They get slept on heavy because if you really think about it, even take Kendrick out of TDE, take him out. The body of work by itself speaks for itself. Schoolboy Q, Absol. Um, these guys were phenomenal, especially in the 2010s. Phenomenal, like really and truly. And Kendrick just doing his stuff right now with the stamp. And then even think about it with Dreamville. Think about all those names that you just mentioned, and then you kind of add on the baby with the influence and the association. Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy work.
Definitely is crazy. And I remember that was TDE was definitely a big part of my childhood. Black Hippie. I thought we was gonna get a Black Hippie album.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Kendrick talked about that on GNX. You know what I'm saying? The Heart Part 6. He let us know what happened. And you feel me? I'm cool. You know what I mean? it hurts that it never happened, but you feel me? We got some Black Hippie songs, so I can hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, man. I would never say never. Never say never in this world, man. Anything could happen.
That's true.
Anything.
That
So,
is 100% true.
what do you hope to see yourself in the next 3 years, man?
Next 3 years, I would hope to see myself in a position where not only have I grown my brand, I've grown my image. I am working as a producer and an artist, helping people in the capacity that not likening myself to them, but in the capacity that a Cole does, in the capacity that a Ye does, you know what I mean?
Bro,
Like
bro.
people are coming to me because they want a specific sound, because I have something special. Um, and literally just making enough to support myself, support my family, and be the light that I was put on this earth to be.
I like that, man. What do you do on your spare time? What does Christopher Knox does on his spare time?
Besides working, I will hang out with my friends, hang out with my family. Both of my parents are pastors, so I work at my church. I,
Okay.
I work the sound engineering and the stream. I used to be like with the kids, but
Okay.
because I became the head engineer, I don't have the time to do it. But also, a friend of mine coaches football at um one of my one the high school I went to, a school that we played, and
Okay.
he works with a like a youth group, and he's so very soon I'm gonna be helping out with them, being able to talk to some some young players and stuff like that, and
Okay.
practice my instruments. You know what I mean? Like
I like that.
that's pretty much it.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Where the name come from?
My middle name is Christopher, and my mother's maiden name is Knox.
I
So
like that.
it used to just be Knox, and then for a while I was like, this it sounds like it's missing something, and then I was like, I could just add my middle name, and so it became Christopher Knox, and now it sounds like a name, which it is my name, just not my birth name.
I
So
like that, man, because it's you. And I think sometimes, like when we first started out, my original name was DJ F,
mm,
and it stood for Fred. So now it's DJ Malone. DJ Malone was my original last name before I got put into the foster care system. So
okay,
for me, it's remembrance of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So for you to have your name like that, it has meaning. I like that.
yep. I think what you call yourself is very important. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, I think they don't put much thought into their name, even naming their projects or like the cover art behind their projects. I feel like
Right,
most very visual when it comes to like how I think. So a lot of the things that I think of, I see them the way I see them before
right.
they come to fruition.
I'm the same way. I have a vision, detailed vision of what's in my head, and I have to job it on paper or figure it out. And it's hard for some people to balance it out because it's like, no, if it's not the vision that I'm seeing in my head, then
Yeah,
I can't do it.
you understand that? I've definitely had to get better with like letting people do their part and just giving them the blueprint, like
Bro,
allowing them their creative liberties, and just saying, hey, this is what I want, and give them a reference of some sort, and
bro,
allow them to get as close to it as possible, because sometimes I've realized that I would find myself being upset, and then I'd be like, well, this person doesn't have my brain, so I can't be like, oh, you did it,
bro.
that they did it wrong. It's just they did it to the best of their ability. And
Yeah,
so, just allowing people to use their art, and
yeah. And
they
and and sometimes art is imitation, so it's like whenever people do stuff from their point of view, it's even sometimes even more cooler because you see yourself as you, but it's even more cooler when somebody does it and it mind blows you when they do something because it's really coming from their perspective of you. Does that make sense?
that makes a lot of sense.
So I like this, man. So where can the people find you, man? Everywhere.
You can find me at underscore, or I think it's Christopher Knox underscore, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, I changed my name from what it used to be. Yes, so it's Christopher Knox underscore on Instagram. On TikTok, you can find me at Skip to My Shoe, and everywhere else, Skip to my True. I haven't changed all the other ones yet, but I'm mainly active on my Instagram. So you can
Okay.
find me at Christopher Knox _. It's an open page, so if you follow me, I'll see it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's crazy when you're an artist and your page is blocked. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Crazy work to me. Uh, but Lovesick is everywhere, right? YouTube everywhere.
Everywhere that you can stream it, it is everywhere. So it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, Deezer. I don't even know which one that is, but I know it's on there.
Definitely, man. Yeah, these has been around. They a lot of people don't they sleep on it because they don't know what it is. But a lot of overseas fans, you get a lot of overseas fans with that.
That's what's up. That would make sense. I'm sure I honestly am not super familiar with like all of the streaming platforms. We only know about a few in America
Yeah,
because those are the like major companies. But yeah, shout out to if I got any overseas fans, shout out to you. I
yeah,
appreciate
man. Big shouts to you guys, man. Um, anything you want to say to your stalkers, your lovers, your supporters before we head out?
thank y'all for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for y'all. You feel me? And I appreciate you for coming along the journey with me. Stay
Hey,
safe. Blessed.
hey, man. Man, make sure you guys check them out. Let's run the analytics up. Please and thank you. Run the analytics. Please and thank you, man. Christopher Knox right here on Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day, really. Before you go, I always ask artists, they can do a drop for me. You're going to say your name, and I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
Right. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Christopher Knox. You know where I'm at. I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
Gang, fireworks, explosions, everything.
Flex Bomb.
Boom. Definitely, man. Make sure you guys check out The Love is Sick out right now. Make sure you guys check it out on everything else like that. We're going to run it up right here, right now. It's the one and only DJ Malone, Chicago 77.3. We out. Wow.
We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3. Your hottest